Hey, Dad?
Yeah?
What's that sound?
I think it's the emergency system that I get on my phone. Let me check. This is strange. It sounds like there's a curfew tonight.
A curfew? What's a curfew?
A curfew is when you're asked to stay inside your house.
Oh my gosh, is something wrong?
Yes, Bram. Actually, there is something wrong.
What happened?
Hi, everybody. Today is Monday, June 8th, World Ocean Day. I don't even want to talk about it, World Ocean Day.
Oh my gosh, you must be really upset.
I am. So if you haven't heard, on May 25th, that was just, I guess about 2 weeks ago, in Minneapolis, there was a 911 call about a man. His name was George Floyd. He supposedly had a $20 counterfeit bill.
What is counterfeit?
Bram, counterfeit means it's fake.
Oh.
So basically, this deli called the police, and then no more than about 17 minutes later, he was dead.
Oh my gosh, what happened?
Well, basically, a police officer and a few other police officers were supporting it. They held their knee on his neck, and he died.
Oh my gosh, that's so bad. Was he like throwing things at them or something?
No, that's the thing. There's a lot of footage, like cameras and things like that filming, and at some point he was saying that he can't breathe, but the police officer had his knee on George Floyd and held him till he died. Even a minute after I think the paramedics were on the scene, he kept his knee there.
Oh my gosh, what happened to him? The police officer?
Well, he's been arrested, but that's just the beginning of the problem. I mean, as terrible as it is, it's brought a lot of attention to systemic racism.
Systemic racism? That's a big word. I don't think I can understand that.
Bram, you definitely can. So we've talked about racism quite a bit, you and I, and even on the show sometimes. But basically, racism is when you treat somebody differently than you because of the way they look, their skin color, for example. In America, it's been a big issue for many, many, many years, especially about black people and white people.
Oh yes. Okay, so that's racism. What's the systemic part?
So systemic means when all of society, all of the community, everybody is doing the racist thing together.
Oh, you mean like after the Civil War, those types of times?
Yes.
Or like the Jim Crow laws? That's when the laws were like very against black people, like separating them?
Exactly. So even though those things have been, made better over the years, there's still this like invisible racism that people are feeling, and it's really bad.
What's the President of the United States doing, Dad?
Well, that's part of the problem, to be honest, Bram, and I'm really trying to be as objective as possible. But President Donald Trump, he keeps talking about dominating, and he keeps saying that the protesters are terrorists.
Wait a minute, I don't know what a protester is or a terrorist.
Bram, we've had both words before. A protester is somebody who says, that's not right, to the government or to some big group, a company or something like that, stands together.
Oh, okay.
And a terrorist is somebody who tries to scare people.
Oh, but aren't some of the protesters like robbing and like breaking things and hurting people?
Yes, Bram, that is happening. There's no question about it. But in general, a lot of the protests are actually peaceful. So, for example, just a few days ago, right outside of the White House, there were protesters outside, and the police came, and even though the protesters weren't hurting anybody, they were being very peaceful. The police were forcefully pushing them away, so the president could make a statement by holding the Bible in front of a church.
Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds, yeah, I don't know.
Yes, so boys and girls, for the first time, Little News Ears has a petition we would like you to sign, and basically it's just asking Donald Trump, our president, to not condone violence.
Condone?
It means like to let violence be okay, and to condone racism. So we have a petition that just says that we don't want Donald Trump to condone those things. We want him to stand against those things.
Dad, I think you're being kind of political about this.
Bram, I'm really not trying to be political about this.
But for example, like you say violence, but a lot of the protesters, they're being violent too.
Bram, absolutely. I support the police at 100% for law and order. I want all of those things. I don't want anybody to get hurt. People have taken advantage of this situation. Don't get me wrong. But what I don't like, Bram, is that people are getting hurt and the President of the United States is not saying something bad about that. He's not pushing for peace. He keeps using words like domination and dominate. And I don't like that. I saw that the Joint Chiefs of Staff also don't like that either. Exactly. Even Pat Robertson, a very famous evangelical Christian. Evangelical? That means a Christian who spreads the word of God fervently. Oh, I like those guys. Oh, okay, but even Pat Robertson, he is saying that what Donald Trump is doing is wrong.
But the president took a different course. He said, I am the president of law and order. And he issued a heads up. He said, I'm ready to send in military troops if the nation's governors don't act to quell the violence that has rocked American City. As a matter of fact, he spoke of them as being jerks. You just don't do that, Mr. President. It isn't cool.
Yes, and I liked hearing about Rahul Dubey, who let 70 protesters, they'd been pepper sprayed, and he let them in their house and in his house and sheltered them.
Oh.
But didn't Laura Ingraham say something about people taking down the Washington Monument or something like that?
I saw that too, Bram. I don't know where Miss Ingraham got that idea. I don't think anyone is trying to take down anything like that. I think that most of these protests are just saying that systemic racism is wrong. And the George Floyd example was just kind of, a clear-cut example of that. And we have to do something about it. And there are, by the way, many people who are involved with this cause. People like George Clooney have made a statement recently, and we have to do something.
Yes, that's true.
I'm going to share a very brief story, Bram. I have these friends. They live in North Carolina, and the man is black. The woman is white. They're a wonderful, wonderful couple. And I heard a story that when they were in North Carolina at a restaurant one time, the waitress came up to them and basically said to the woman, again, who is white, and said, you don't belong with that man. You need to get away from him, or something like that.
Oh my gosh, that's so bad.
Yeah, so racism is really, really a big problem. We've got to do something about it. Douche.
So